everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to talk to you about my new oracle deck, the Tree Keeper's Oracle. It is written by Angi Sullins and the artwork is by Stephanie Law. This deck is so beautiful and it really reads for the intuitive reader. I really have not had to use the guidebook, which if you've watched my deck reviews and flip throughs before, you know I am not a person that really goes by the guidebook. I'm very much an intuitive reader. I've read for so long that the symbolism just kind of speaks to me. So speaking of the guidebook, let's take a look. It has a nice little saying in the back. It says, sometimes a door is more than a door. Sometimes a tree is more than a tree. And sometimes you are more than you know, able to access the moreness shimmering on the other side of your circumstances. There is always more chances, more grace, more forgiveness, more perspectives, more magic than you have currently glimpsed. The tree keepers knew this truth. Now you will too. So that's lovely. So it's a fully illustrated guidebook. I love that because for me, if I am learning with Oracle, let's say I'm learning crystals or I'm learning trees or what have you, astrology, I really appreciate having the full card on here. Then I don't have to actually get the card out. I can look at it right here, which I love. That is just easy for me. I am a little bit of a lazy witch. So anything that cuts a few steps for me is wonderful. Now for me, I usually look to if there's spreads or anything like that, and there's not. And so this is just a straightforward explanation of the cards. So we'll put that aside. Opening the box, we have another cute little saying. I love poetry, so and blurbs and prose. So this is really beautiful. So I'm going to read this to you guys. As legend and druids can tell you, there are places on the planet where the veil between worlds is thin and the trees are guardians of these sacred spaces. That is so very true. Yes. All right. This deck has beautiful cover art. That is so lovely. I love working with fox spirit medicine and bird medicine through here. And the butterfly is beautiful. And then you get this free pouch to keep your cards in, which is beautiful. All right. Now I have played with this deck, so it is not in order. And you can see the beautiful gilding on here. It's nice and gold, which I love. All right, let's get to it. I am going to do a close-up here. Let's get closer. Oh, not that close. Oh my. There we go. All right. All right. So 21, we have Keeper of Fairy Tales. I love the dragon. I love all the details in this tree over here. I love do you see how the colors just really, really pop? I love how she's reading a book here. That is just beautiful. It feels like this tree is opening up as she's reading the tale. So that tells me that this tree is definitely a portal, and she's opening that portal as she's reading the book. Number 11, Keeper of Surrender. Oh my goodness, this card looks like, oh, I got a bit of a glare there. Sorry, guys. Keeper of Surrender looks like she is just giving in to nature. She's just, take me, I'm yours. I love that. Beautiful. I kind of want to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm just kidding. Keeper of Endings, card 29. I love this lotus blossom and this crown right here. And, you know, where the tree has opened up here, you see a nice little portal. Love that. Beautiful. Keeper of Endings. I always like to think of the lotus as, you know, coming out of the water, and we come out of the womb, and birth is an ending for the mother and a beginning for the child. So I really like the symbolism on that one. Keeper of Beginnings. Oh, I love the strings going around the butterflies. And the spiral down here is so beautiful. Very nice. These beings down here rising up. Very symbolic. Love that. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Keeper of Time. I see this portal, there's the cogs of a clock, and then the outside of the clock. So you have as within, so without symbolism here. And then we have what looks to be the chimes, like a wind chime in through here. That is so beautiful. And the inside workings also down here. So you've got as above, so below, as within, so without, going through here. And if you've watched my channel or you're a student of mine, you know that is a huge motif in all the lessons that I teach, and in my craft and tarot and everything that I teach. It's always woven through. I love the watercolor of these cards because it so shows through in here. You can see that this deck is just absolutely gorgeous. I knew I was going to do a flip through with you guys because I just can't help but show this deck off. It's just beautiful. Card 34, Keeper of Dance. I love the Chinese lantern we have here. We've got some satyrs dancing. We've got more foxes. That is beautiful. This looks like a party. This looks like a good time. So much energy is released through dance, and I love that. Beautiful. Let's see. Card 19, Keeper of Sleep. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. I love the snake wrapping through the branches here. And I love the symbology of the way we open portals in our sleep through our dreams. Again, the watercolor is beautiful. I'm going to have to look up Stephanie Law and see the rest of her artwork to see what else she has done, because her artwork is just breathtaking, just gorgeous. Card 15, Keeper of Nurture. And this is what is on the cover here. This is beautiful. I love the contrast in this card. I love the bright fuchsia butterflies with the, the olive green tones in this card is beautiful. I love all the creatures within these, the trunk of the tree and within the roots. The more you look at this deck, the more surprises you find. And I just am loving, look at this little guy in here. He's full of sass. I love that. This little creature here, I like him. I just love this deck, you guys. I will gush about it all day long. I love that. It looks like she's holding either like a conch shell or an apple or something. I could probably look it up in the guidebook. I'll let you guys know in the description box. But there's definitely like a seed, and you have to nurture a seed or it won't grow. And that's what I feel like these little creatures are looking like. Are you nurturing that seed? Do you plan on seeing this through, or are you just a love them and leave them type of gal? I love that about this card. All right, number 9, Keeper of Trust. Wow. So many pretty hummingbirds and flowers here, and there's that acorn again. Oh, I love that. This just so pretty. I love the wreath of thorns here. Beautiful. Again, the watercolor effects in this deck is just breathtaking. 22, Keeper of Intuition. I love the Celtic Triskel we have up here. She looks like she could possibly be a part of the tree. She's so in tune with its wisdom. She's just looks like she could possibly be a part of it. And I feel like when we are truly in touch with our intuition and we are truly connected, we are a part of spirit. We are a part of the divine. And I think that is exactly what this card is trying to say. We become one. We become so connected that there's no separation. I love that. Card 1, Keeper of Self-Love. Oh, wow. We have more foxes. We have flowers. I love that it seems like she's playing a flute of some kind. And it seems like she's playing for herself. She's not really playing for the trees or the flowers or the foxes. They're gathering around her, but I feel like she's playing for herself. And that speaks about self-love so much. I love the imagery of the conch shells. I love that it harkens back to sacred geometry and the patterns of all things. There's just so much to these cards. Like I said, every time I do a reading with this deck, I notice something different. And I think that's the whole point. Card 10, Keeper of Shift. Wow. Such a powerful card. I see the dragonflies. I see the butterflies. This little fairy guy right here, he's banging on a drum. You know, we've got what looks like the moonlight. And she is ready for change. She's embracing it. She's like, I want to transform. Let's do it. I love that. My coven and I went through an amazing transformation just this past Saturday. And it felt a little bit like that. We actually did a nice plant spirit meditation. It was so lovely. And we kind of felt like that. So that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. Card 2, Keeper of Abundance. I love the comedy tragedy masks here. I love all the feathers here, and he is just embracing all of the goodness that this card has to offer. He is just, let's do it. Let's show that gratitude for what we have so we can have more of it. I love that. I might even use this card if I was doing an abundance spell or a prosperity or success spell. That would be wonderful to use. Nice. Card 21, Keeper of Flow. Oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. Look at the steps leading up to the tiny door. Oh, all this beautiful growth at the top of the tree. And again, the sacred geometry with the conch shells all around. And if you can see down here, this little leaf is like a sailboat. And then you've got what looks to be salmon in this stream or this lake, and these tiny little steps. Oh my gosh, I love this card. Beautiful. Card 6, Keeper of Whimsy, and she is just having tea upon this wave, just allowing it to take her wherever she wants to go. I mean, she's along for the ride, sipping tea, not bothered by anything, just allowing it to take her where she wants, wherever she's going. She's got no GPS, she's got no agenda, she's just ready to go. I love that. Card 37, Keeper of Sharing. Oh, I love, she's like, I want some. Down here, she's like, all right, I'm ready. Give it to me. I love that all of these branches, these tendrils coming down. It seems like the tree is just opening up and spreading its wisdom down for all. I love that. I love this being down here. I love all the faces that you can see. Like I said, this deck is so unique that you're going to notice something every time you do a reading with it. This is just beautiful. Card 14, Keeper of Solitude. Again, so many layers to this. You've got the spiral opening up into light. You have the being here. You have the being inside the window. She's like, I'm fine right here. And she's got down here, we've got what looks like antelope or some kind of woodland creatures. And then we've got a stag and we've got a knight carrying a shield and a flag. Looks like he's like, I'm going to come save you. And she's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need saving. I am fine in my tree tower. Thank you, kind sir. I love that. I have saved myself. You don't need to save me. I love that card. All right, card 4, Keeper of Comfort. Oh, this unicorn. I want one. I see flowers. I see fungi. I see more conch shells. And this little guy, this little being inside, and I love her. She's just like, me and my unicorn, that's all I need. And she has her sword into the earth, so she's not bothered by anything. This little horned nature spirit down here is interesting. But, you know, she's not afraid. She's got her trusted unicorn. She's not afraid of any of these guys. Love the roses down here and what looks like ivy. So much to look at with these cards. 38, Keeper of the Game. So it looks like they're playing chess on this little turtle guy. He's so cute, but he kind of looks annoyed. Like, do you really need to play chess on my back? Like, must that happen? You've got these little birds that looks like they're just watching. All these little creatures are just watching this game. And this little, what looks like a nature spirit or a fairy, is playing against the tree. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to play chess against a tree. I was in the chess club in high school. Yes, I'm that nerd. And I don't know if I'd play against a tree. A tree has a lot of wisdom. A tree has seen some strategy and some battle in its lifetime, I'm sure. I don't know if I'd be that brave. But I love that all the creatures have come to see the game. Interesting. Card 41, Keeper of Forgiveness. I love the symbology of the umbrellas. It's very interesting. And I see, again, I can't help it, as above, so below motif with the little umbrella mushrooms down here. You know, one of these days, I am going to do a video on the wonder that is the mushroom and just what they do for nature. And it's so awe-inspiring what they do for us. And what they do for nature in general. And, you know, it's echoing the symbology of what the branches do for the trees here. This card is so deep that even if I start talking about it, then I would run out of room and you guys would be so bored. But I really love the symbology of this card. That's beautiful. Card 17, Keeper of Journeys. Wow, we've got a wizard here. We have what looks like ravens or crows. A lot of what looks like druid stones. This looks like a dark, mysterious forest. But, you know, in a journey, sometimes you have to go through the dark to get to the light. So true, so true. Beautiful. Card 8, Keeper of Ease. Wow, there are so many birds in this growth underneath her. And it's like a whole other world. And, you know, we don't see what is underneath a tree. But there is something called, this is silly, but it's true. There is something called the Wood Wide Web. Yes, you heard me correct. And it connects to all of the other trees underneath it. And I find that so fascinating, you know, that a tree that is not doing well receives nourishment from trees that are doing really well through this wood wide web. And it, you know, it's like a wave of communication, like, hey, this tree is not doing well. Let's give it some love and nutrients and water and whatever it needs. And again, with the mycelium produced through mushrooms, it gets those nutrients, and that's what mushrooms do. And that's the long and short of it. But I love that this gives you a little glimpse of that. This is beautiful, beautiful. Love that. All right. I won't talk forever. Card 44, Keeper of Follow Through. Wow. You know, she's started a journey and she's got to see it through, or she's not going to gain the wisdom that she set out to gain in the first place. And sometimes journeys are hard. Most of the time, journeys are hard. If they were easy, they wouldn't be journeys, right? And sometimes you have to go deep down into the cave in order to come up and gain the wisdom. That's just the way it goes. But I like this little guy down here. Beautiful. Card 42, Keeper of Wonder. Oh, wow, that dragon is awesome. The coloring is just great. Mushrooms. And I love her. She's got her journal out. It looks like she's meditating, and she is just writing on this. It looks like we got a phoenix down here. It looks like she is just astral traveling and, jotting down everything she's receiving. Beautiful. Keeper of Wonder. And she's keeping everything that she wonders about. That's beautiful representation. 25, Keeper of the Subconscious. Subconscious, we've got a conch. That's clever. Clever, Angi Sullins. You've got the beautiful portal light in here. This beautiful, this looks like underneath a tree, really. This almost looks like underwater, which makes sense because the subconscious is underneath everything. Wow, this is beautiful. This might be my new favorite card. This is gorgeous. Beautiful. Card 23, Keeper of Truth. Boy, she's embracing everything. And then you've got all the masks down here. Wow, it looks like she's actually drawing down the moon here. That would make sense. Oh, I love that. And you can tell, like, with this moon representation, she's actually drawing down all the phases of the moon. Which you should, we see the moon in its entirety, and the moon is always complete. We just see the phases because of its appearance, because of what is being reflected to us. But the moon is always complete. It's never not a full moon, if that makes sense. But I really, really like this representation. This is beautiful. 28, Keeper of Anger. Oh, wow. She's battling a lot of demons here, and I just love her wings. She's doing a lot of transformation, and I've been working a lot with the violet flame, and all this violet color kind of reminds me of that. The violet flame, for those that don't know, takes what you no longer want in your life, what does not serve your highest and best good, and transforms it, transmutes it into your best and highest good. So that makes perfect sense with the Keeper of Anger, transforming it into light. That's beautiful. I love that. Nice. Card 20, Keeper of Alchemy. If you follow my Facebook page or my Instagram, I went through on Gaia TV. They have mystery teachings of the tarot, and they use alchemy as one of the ways to explain the different cards and the different stages of alchemy. And I love this representation of it because it is a big spiral. And I can't go into it because I don't know that much about it. I know very, 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 very tiny little bit. But I love this representation. It helps solidify it in my mind, and it gets me a little more curious to know more. There is a book called Personal Alchemy by Amber Wolf that is in my list to read for my dissertation for the University of Metaphysics for my PhD in metaphysical science that I'm going to be reading and using in my dissertation. I'm excited to get to that. All right, keeping on going. Card 12, Keeper of Inclusion. Wow, so she's playing what looks like a piano carved out of this tree. We've got beautiful, looks like butterflies, but could also be fairies, as I see here. The sheet music is turning into butterflies. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is gorgeous. Beautiful. I could stare at these for hours. Should keep a timer. I only could talk about one card for like 15 seconds. Card 32, Keeper of Creativity. Wow, look at the poppies. A little representation of a satyr here, a pan-like figure. Oh, wow, just so many different things going on in this card. I don't even know where to start. I don't know if you guys can see that much detail, but there's just so much going on. And there should be with creativity. You know, when we tap into our creative side, there is no telling what comes out. And that's perfectly represented by this card. I'll leave it that. Card 16, Keeper of Play. She's like up here swinging from this branch. The waves are coming up. You've got these beautiful hummingbirds coming out of this little hole in the door. This tree is so pretty. So many levels to it. This makes me want to go play in a tree house or a playground somewhere just to have some fun. Beautiful. 18, Keeper of Stars. And she's got a little energy ball of a star right here. And to me, that represents the human body right there. You know, arms stretched out, legs stretched out. You can see a couple faces in the branches here, and all around. And then you've got another star, which looks like the human body down here. And she's just floating, and her angel-like wings are just wrapped around. That is so beautiful. Beautiful. All right, moving along, we've got card 40, Keeper of Innocence. Wow. So at first glance, I thought this was a stag, and it still could be a stag, but it looks like almost like a horse, and it's got what looks like branches coming out. Like I said, I don't think it's antlers. I'm not entirely sure. That's what I love about these cards. I think they're so open for interpretation, and I think that's important. I don't think there's definitives with this deck at all. And she's just peeking out. She's curious what's going on. The spirals all over this card. Oh, I didn't even see this little guy down here. Like I said, the more you stare at these cards, the more you notice. Absolutely. Card 13, Keeper of Pace. And we've got a white fox down here. We've got a crescent moon. We've got what looks like falling leaves. Beautiful. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Card number 3, Keeper of Wishes. We've got a wishing well. We have a gentleman or a male figure in what looks like armor. And we have a lovely redheaded female here. And what looks like skeletal fossils down here underneath the earth. Wow. And these look like little stair steps down. And this light in the well is interesting. Beautiful. Card 30, Keeper of Sanctuary. Again, we have the Triskel here. Oh my goodness. I just this moment noticed that this is a face. So this is part of her hair, and it goes up as part of the tree. So she is part of the tree. That is beautiful. Got the berries and the leaves here. She is her own sanctuary. Her sanctuary is in her mind. Well, isn't that clever? All right, card 7, Keeper of Balance. You know, this kind of reminds me right here of the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Symbolism there. We've got such detail. I'm in love with these cards, you guys. You know, if you look close, the branches and the trunks of this tree actually are birds coming out of the tree. And then she's standing on one leg, trying to keep balance. Beautiful. Card 22, Keeper of Boundaries. Oh my. This big kitty, and then we got a little kitties down here with a big kitty up here. Like, this kitty is like very much a guardian. Very much guarding this gentleman here. Very much like saying what we will accept and what we will not accept. Very beautiful. Again, I have to draw attention to the watercolors are just beautiful. Oh, I love watercolor. 33, Keeper of the Wild. Oh my goodness, you guys, there's so much detail. Look at all the foxes. She is coming out of the tree, and it looks like she's embracing everything that nature has to offer. There's this dragonfly crossing the crescent moon here. Wow, and like in the distance, you can tell it goes on and on and on. This is so beautiful. And you can tell how everything just crosses over into another thing. And there's so many layers to this card. And that's what the Great Wild is. There's a lot of layers. It is not simple out there in the wild. Beautiful. Few more, guys. 35, Keeper of the Invisibles. Wow. So much to see, so much to embrace. You have this little guy wearing a mask, playing what looks to be a violin. And then you've got this person, probably not a person, probably a nature spirit or a dryad. And she's just embracing it. She's like, I don't even know what you're summoning, but I am embracing it anyway. We've got a lot of winged creatures, a lot of horned creatures, a lot of birds. Oh, wow. And these little nature spirits or dryads down here, it looks like they're coming out of the trunk of this tree. Beautiful. Wow. Gorgeous. I hope you guys run out and get this deck. And then leave your comments below of things that you guys notice that I don't, because it's a treasure trove in this deck. Just absolutely treasure trove. 27, Keeper of Grace. And it looks like he's got this gold thread, which reminds me of like the Fates a little bit. Again, lots of conch shell fossils down here. And his head is just got a lot of like birds coming out and branches and what looks to be like this little ball of energy and all these swirls. Just so much to see. All right, 31, Keeper of Focus. I love the analogy with the keys here. They're just beautiful. And this looks like the body of an owl or a hawk. And then like the moon and the mask. Just beautiful. All right, couple more. 39, Keeper of Receiving. And again, we've got the cogs, the mechanics going on. It's almost like beneath the scenes, we're glimpsing the veil here and we're seeing the inner workings, And again, she's swinging here and, she's just open and aware and just being, receiving. And we've got like the outline of the moon and again, the workings, the cogs going on. This is a beautiful card. Beautiful. And last but not least, we have 43, Keeper of Transformation. The blues and the purples and the greens in this card are just breathtaking, and she's just embracing it all. She is just loving life and just really taking it all in. She's truly, a representation of what I was talking about earlier with the violet flame. She really is taking in, what does not serve her and transforming it. And you can see that because that's kind of what mushrooms do down here. This little mushroom cap right here. And transforming it into light. Beautiful. So that was the Tree Keeper's Oracle. And yeah, beautiful deck. Beautiful illustrations. I've talked for 45 minutes about this deck, so I hope you guys run out and get it. I hope it serves you well. I appreciate you guys stopping by and running through with this with me. And yeah, if you have any ideas for future videos, please drop them down in the comments down below. And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.